vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And did you see a cell phone in the interior of the vehicle, maybe near the shifter or near the center console?
Yes, sir.
And was the cell phone open?
Yes, sir.
And was it running?
Yes, sir.
Was it running on an app?
Yes, sir.
Was that the Maps app?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right out of the gate, the prosecution is establishing something very specific. The phone was open, powered on, and actively running the Maps app. That may sound like a minor detail, but in court, tiny details often become major pieces of a larger puzzle. Keep an eye on where they're going with this evidence, because they clearly want the jury to connect the device to the defendant's movements and intentions.
Your Honor, we would tender States 64 and States 143 for admission into evidence.
Notice how quickly those exhibits are admitted into evidence. No objection from either side. That's significant because it means the fight isn't over whether the evidence exists. It's over what the evidence actually proves. And that's often where the real courtroom battle begins.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, Mr. Sonardi?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Petridis? Okay, they'll be admitted.
Officer, does that appear to be an image from video recorded by your body-worn camera that morning?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to go ahead and publish this, Your Honor. And is that one of the officers in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering the hotel at this point?
Yes, sir.
Now that's an interesting moment. The officer says his radio battery was dead while he was attempting to communicate critical information. Imagine being in an active situation, trying to alert fellow officers, and realizing your transmission isn't going through. Do you think a communication failure like this could affect how investigators later reconstruct what happened? Let me know in the comments.
Okay, so when you were in, after you had entered the hotel parking lot and before you stopped the car, it appeared in the camera or view of the camera that you were doing something with your radio.
Yes, sir.
What were you doing with the radio?
I was trying to give out to the officers on scene that the car was parking up. Unfortunately, my battery was dead, so nothing was transmitted.
Your Honor, we're going to publish 143, States 143.
Okay.
This is one of the most important pieces of testimony so far. The officer isn't focused on whether the suspect was surrendering. He's focused on what he perceived as a potential threat. In many use of force and pursuit cases, courts often examine what officers reasonably believed in the moment, not what can be calmly analyzed frame by frame afterward. That distinction can be crucial. Y'all already know my name. That's a short response, but it's the kind of statement jurors tend to remember. The prosecution may view it as consciousness of the situation, while the defense could argue it means very little on its own. It's a reminder that context often determines whether a statement becomes powerful evidence, or just a passing remark.
Officer, does that appear to be a video recording from a camera mounted on the hotel
Yes, sir.
of the same incident?
Yes, sir.
Same date and time?
Yes, sir.
Did it appear to you that Mr. Murphy may have started to put his hand up and then turned and ran?
Honestly, I was possibly, but he just escalated so quickly that I was more focused on whether a gun was going to be produced or anything like that.
So we saw another officer pull up not too long.
Yes, sir.
That would have been after you pursued on foot.
Yes, sir.
And now the scope of the investigation appears to be widening. What started as a vehicle stop and foot pursuit has led officers back inside the hotel, where another individual is identified and escorted out. This is the kind of transition that often signals a bigger story unfolding behind the scenes. The question is, how closely is this hotel room connected to everything we've heard so far? Stay tuned, because that's exactly what the next phase of testimony may begin to answer.
At some point after Mr. Murphy was taken into custody, did you ask him what his name was?
Yes, sir.
What was his response?
He said no, and then when I asked for his name again, he said, "You already knew my name."
You already know my name. Okay. Did Lieutenant Cheek, after Mr. Murphy was taken into custody, did he contact law enforcement here at the Tampa Police Department to notify the agency down here that he had been detained, taken into custody?
If I believe so, yes.
After Mr. Murphy was taken into custody, at some point later in the morning, did you respond to a location inside of the hotel?
Yes, sir.
And were there day shift officers on scene at that point?
Yes, sir.
And were they staged around one of the hotel room doors?
Yes, sir.
And did you assist them in making contact with someone in that room?
Yes, sir.
And at some point, did a young woman come out of the room?
Yes, sir.
And was she later identified as Charmaine Steiger?
Yes, sir.
And was she later escorted to a patrol vehicle in the parking lot of the hotel?
Yes, sir.
May I have one moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'll tender the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, can I use the assistance of Mr. Lane with regard to the video?
Assistance of who?
Mr.
Yes,
Lane?
yes,
That's
of course. And are you going to be using the exhibits?
Judge, I am going to be using Exhibit 64. Can we approach briefly?
Yep. So, the exhibits once they've been admitted. Come on up.